Hello and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor and our Ironman challenge. Now we're currently in a battle against a snake cult army. I actually thought that maybe it would be a pretty decent idea to try and weaken the snake cult a little bit, and I came across these guys who were already in a battle with a snake cult army. So I thought, okay, well, that's perfect, that's an absolutely perfect situation to be in, and we're going to take advantage of it as much as we can. So as you can see right here, our allies have an absolutely overwhelming amount of numbers. They've got 140 in this battle. The enemy, I think, has about 280, and I think our forces have, well, clear in excess of that. Absolutely. And we are going to hopefully be able to take them down, and who knows, maybe I'll be able to find the Dread Legion as well and see whether they are eligible for a little bit of skirmishing, because of course we kind of need to take them down, don't we? Yeah, we kind of need to take them down. But they are going to be very difficult to do that because they have usually a considerable, and I'm talking about considerable amount of units in their army. And it is going to be very difficult to take them out with that, because last time I checked, which was maybe about 2 in-game weeks ago, probably not much has changed since that time. But if it has, or, well, should we say if it hasn't, then they still have about 1,000 units, which is way too much. So we probably won't be able to do anything against them. But who knows? I got to be really, really careful here, though. I can't literally just charge in however I like, because even though the snake cult, in my opinion, are not the most dangerous, they can be dangerous, but the snake cult armsmen specifically are going to be not exactly difficult to deal with. But the main problem are the serpent priestesses and the anaconda knights. They are the ones that will be a little bit difficult to deal with. I also have to be quite a little bit cautious about my horse here. I do not want my horse to get taken out randomly, because my horse is actually fantastic. I love this horse. I think it's a really, really good one. I did not want to see it dead, so that's great, isn't it? Yes, fantastic. Well, they have Netherworld charges, which I suppose I can use to good effect, but I am actually kind of annoyed now, because I really did not want to see my horse get taken out, because this horse is probably one of the best horses I have so far seen, and I really didn't want to lose it, because it could potentially become lamed at any potential moment, and I didn't want to see that. So that's kind of a shame, isn't it? Yeah, that is kind of a shame. Thankfully, none of my units have actually been killed. Oh yeah, it's because they were all the way back there. I actually thought that they were in the fight, but they're apparently not. So that's kind of hilarious. But anyway, I have, in other news, sent off Lethal Durin to once again do his little bit of training. It's going to take him 3 weeks, and he will come back and hopefully have good news for us. And then we will hopefully have, well, I'm hoping he'll actually increase our sergeant's strength rating to 16. Because at the moment it is 15, and they are literally 1 away from using Doom Maces. And that's kind of a shame, in my opinion. So I'm being a little bit choosy here about what I actually decide to fire at as well. And that's the reason why I have 21 arrows still, because usually I'll just fire it almost indiscriminately, really. But this time around I'm being a little bit choosier, because I don't have my Noldor horse, and I really don't want to be in a situation where I'm off my mount and just basically helpless against Anaconda Knights and Serpent Priestesses. They're going to absolutely murder us in that kind of way, because they're obviously mounted. Okay, let's have... Oh, that's a lot of enemies. That is a lot of enemies coming at us right here. Well, I can shoot indiscriminately now and probably hit someone almost every time, which is pretty cool. And maybe we can try and utilize the Netherworld Charger a little bit. Now, bear in mind that the Netherworld Charger is, as you can see, extremely slow. It is really, really slow. It is one of those horses that you buy or acquire literally just for its armor values and for its insane survivability. It has an amazing amount of HP, and I think it has like, what? I don't know, 70 armor, 80 armor? I'm not entirely sure, but its HP is the main reason why you buy this thing. I think it's got like 500 HP or something like that, which is just insanity, really, for a horse to have that much. In comparison, the Noldor horse that I was using beforehand has about 200, as far as I remember. So it has over double. The Netherworld Charger has over double the amount, which is, wow, just ludicrous levels of survivability right there. So it's pretty cool, but obviously it's not really my thing. I used to very much a long time ago, when I used to still play Pendor, like, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 years ago, maybe something like that. I used to be like, okay, so I'm gonna need a horse that has the most armor in the world, because I used to be someone that really prefers a horse that is going to stay alive, and something that is going to be basically impossible for enemies to take out. And yeah, in many respects, that is a much better idea than going for something that is a little bit faster and much weaker in terms of toughness. But in some aspects, it is still good to go for massive amounts of armor. But personally, I just prefer having that additional speed bonus, and the amount of charge damage that the Noldor horse is able to do is just so much better. It really is. Anyway, there you go. We did achieve a victory there and gained a little bit of relation with the Empire, even though I don't really care about that much. Ooh, we got some snake cult rituals. That's nice. We can actually give that to whoever. Don't know whether it really makes any difference, to be honest. Gonna take this to sell as well. Ooh, nice. Okay, well, there's actually a lot of units here that I would like to be able to recruit, but I'm actually not going to do that because I don't have that much space anyway, and there really aren't that many things that I would die for, to be honest. Ooh, actually, Radiant Cross Plague Wardens. I will take those. I am happy to take those. Thank you very much. So we have now arrived at Talon Crag Castle. Yes, it is this place. I know what you're thinking. Why am I heading back here? Well, as I've said, I feel like this is the key for this particular section of the Ravenstern's territory. If we can take this, then they're going to have a much harder time of, well, doing anything much. Because if they do decide to attack Talon Crag Castle, then we will be ready for them. And unfortunately, I did have the Imperium War Party really close by to us, by the way. And I was like, oh yes, let's start the siege really quick. And then it took Anson a whole bunch of time to to get it up and running. So unfortunately, the Imperium War Party has now moved on, even though they seemed to be staying right next to me at the time. But anyway, let's move in and see what we can do here. We have a -1 battle advantage. I don't think that's too bad. That's not too bad. It's kind of awful in a way, but hopefully Anson will not get himself killed almost immediately. He does tend to do that kind of thing. Now, I'm going to take a bit of a different stance in this particular siege. Usually, I am going to be one of the first to be like, okay, let me charge in. Let me do as much damage as I can, and so on and so forth. But this time around, I'm going to be a bit careful. I'm going to be very cautious about what I'm doing here. I'm going to try and take extremely little damage, as much as possible, and then we'll try and move in at that point. I am going to just be hiding behind this wall here, kind of just preventing as much as possible. You know, any kind of possibility that can happen about us potentially getting murdered, we want to try and prevent that. So the one thing that I really quite badly want to do, though, is that if I can, I would like to be able to murder this guy. There we go, thank you. Now I have 12 arrows remaining. I think that should be enough for what I need to do, but there are actually a couple of quivers on the floor here, so I'm going to actually pick those up. Oh, wait a minute. I seem to have... No, okay, yeah, that's not going to work. Apparently I can't pick up the quiver for some reason. I don't know why, but whatever the case, I'm just going to pick up all these random arrows that are on the floor here, just to restock myself just a little bit. Don't really care about too many, but what we're going to do Can you tell? Yeah, I am going to try this again. Let's see if I can make this work. New enemies have arrived. That is not particularly good, but that's fine because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. No, this. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so this is exactly what I wanted to do in the previous episode, by the way. I wanted to do exactly this, and hopefully I'm going to be able to make my way around without taking too much damage, if anything. Ooh, if I can take 0 damage here, this is going to be absolutely game-changing. Because bear in mind that the enemies are going to be focused on my forces. Hopefully I won't get shot in the back. That guy was an absolute beast, just blocking every single attack I had. Okay. What a crazy guy. Okay, so thankfully, there you go. We're now done here. And I will hopefully be able to... Oh, there's actually someone behind me. Where? Are you serious? Where was the guy shooting me from? Because I had a shield on hit. Shield on back hit or something like that. Okay. Weird stuff. I guess I'll just take these arrows. Wait a minute. Is there literally someone behind me here? There is someone behind me now. Yeah. Over there, right? Yeah, that seems to be the case. Okay, wait a minute. I'm being shot from somewhere. I have no idea where from. I can't see them. This is interesting. Alright, so I've walked all the way around this little archery place here, and I don't seem to be able to... I think it's a guy over there. Yeah, look, there he is. He's shooting at me from over there. Okay. Well, don't worry about it, sir. I will put you out of your misery. There we are. Fantastic. Okay, so now he no longer has to shoot at us, which is great for him and for me. And we are now going to do a bunch of damage from behind enemy lines. This is basically the only way that I could kind of figure out to do this, because I was looking at the previous episode and I was thinking to myself, okay, if I can get behind here, then maybe I can, try and take out the archers and then try and shoot the other enemies in the back. And that seems to be working out quite nicely for us so far. And the one thing that I have to do is, you just got to be really, really careful about them shooting you right now. When I have my bow out, that is when I am weakest. And if that happens, then bad things will happen. Okay, let's see if I can take that guy out. There we go. Nice, nice, and nice. Very good. Okay. So I have 5 arrows remaining, which is really, really awful. So I'm going to have to do something about that in a second. And that means I don't really want to go and go scavenging all throughout the area here, which is going to be how it is, unless I pick up a whole quiver. There we go. Fantastic. Unfortunately, picking up a whole quiver might, if I replace my one, it might in turn reduce the amount of damage that I'm actually capable of doing. So that is a bit of an issue there, but thankfully it didn't replace my current quiver, so that's fine. We can just continue raining down death and destruction from up here. My enemies have now respawned some arrows. Technically they are... They're coming out! Look at this! They're actually coming out! I can't believe it! Tell everyone to charge in, people. Oh, wow, this is bad. Okay, this is kind of bad for me. Shoot that guy in the knee, because that's what we do. He wanted to be an adventurer, but not anymore. These guys are going to be hard, because they have some pretty decent shield skill. Whoops. Okay, this is bad. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, this is actually good. Okay. Yeah, this is perfect. Fantastic. All right, so yeah, I'm fine now. By the silence, I think you could probably tell that I was concentrating a lot. Yes. Yeah, I don't usually do that. I'm just like, I'm not really knowing what I'm doing most of the time. So yeah, anyway, that is fantastic. I didn't even realize I could actually get out here, which is pretty crazy. So I'm just gonna shoot a bunch of people with the remaining little bit of my arrows. I thought these guys might get annoyed from what I was actually doing, but I didn't think that they were going to react in such a strong way. Pretty crazy. Okay, so yeah, now I can basically just walk down here. And, well, that's the thing. I'm not entirely sure what else I can do. We've eliminated 320 of the enemy's units so far. I can't really do anything up here. That's the main problem, because I don't actually have any arrows remaining. And if I stand with my forces, we're probably going to suffer quite a few casualties, literally just because I don't have any arrows, you know? If I stand down there, then I might very well also get taken out. So that's a bit of a problem too, but I'm hopeful that thanks to my amazing behind enemy lines combat skills, oh yes, you could see how amazing they were. Not that amazing, but they were decent. And we were able to do quite a bit. All right, so can I... Oh, I got one, really. Yeah, I'm not going to get any quivers now. That is for sure. I will literally not get any quivers on the floor here because we're going to need a... I don't know, Range of the Clarion Call or a Jatu Raider. I could ask them for some arrows, actually. I'm not entirely sure if that actually works in... Ah, it does. Okay, there you go. They gave me some arrows. That's fantastic. Okay, so now, where do I go and what do I do? Yeah, that's the thing. I've got 78 kills. Let's see if we can make that another couple. All right, so let's see. There's enemies shooting there. I'm hopeful that I will be able to kill them from where I am. There we go. It's kind of problematic to shoot from this angle, you see. That's the main issue because the AI knows exactly where the gaps are in the defense, and I don't. So I could theoretically take massive damage from them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to assist my units by just shooting into the back of our enemies, and hopefully that will give them enough of a push to be able to get in to the actual settlement itself. This is probably the greatest victory we've had so far, and I'm talking even greater than that of Laria, because let's face it, this one has been a thorn in our side for much too long. It really has. And for me to be able to survive in this actual siege as well, considering how incredibly frustrating it can be, well, that's a pretty amazing feat in itself. But anyway, there you go. We lost 44 units, which is kind of harsh. I was actually hoping to crowd surf down the defenders. That was the main reason why I actually started jumping, and I didn't even realize that I would be able to get over this barrier here. I literally thought that was my death. I really did. But there you go. It's not. 45 renown and 23 morale are ours, and we eliminated all 408 enemies in the garrison there. Wow, pretty crazy. Okay, so I am just going to allow people to choose what they want. Apparently no one wants anything, so all of this is junk according to them. But otherwise, there we go. Nice. Okay, so now we get an opportunity to refill our ranks with some really, really nice units. Maiden Cavalry come to me. They are great. I like them a lot. What else do we have here? Armored Bowman. Heavy Bowman? Armored Bowman? I don't really know what's best, but I guess I'll just take randomly, I suppose. And what else do we have here? Well, not much, actually. Don't really like the Mercenary Warriors. Salian Longbowmen. We could take the Dervishes, I suppose. Lancers and Raiders are always, I guess, kind of decent. Adventurers are pretty good. And... I guess we could take... Pendor man-at-arms? No, no. Rangers, maybe? They're cavalry? They're horse archers? I mean, I guess that's kind of good. And we'll take a maiden warrior. We have a very, very small amount of space remaining. So I guess we'll just take... a couple of warriors, I guess. And then we'll just capture all of the prisoners. Oh, yes. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be who should I give this to, actually? Because I could give this to Roland, but I think Alistair could definitely use it. I'm going to give it to Alistair because he will improve his party size by a pretty dramatic margin by having an additional castle. So we'll just let him do that, and hopefully that's going to work out quite nicely for us. All right, so let's wait here for some time, see what happens. I don't think anyone's really going to desire to attack this particular fief. Let's face it, I think everyone knows that it is not to be trifled with. And what was that? A Jatu army. Aha. Yes, a Jatu army with over 1,000 units and 1,526 prisoners. Now, let me just run something by you. Let's just run a little bit of a scenario here. If I am able to defeat this Jatu army with both of our vassals side by side to me, they will be able to recruit every single one of those 1,526 prisoners, and they are going to turn into, well, siege wrecking balls. They are literally going to run around taking every single thing in sight because they have so much power behind them. So I'm thinking in the next episode, we're going to call for a campaign, we're going to get those guys following us, and we'll try and take out this Jatu army. Bear in mind that they do have over 200 raiders, 175 lancers, 62 battle riders, and a number of other high-tier, very, very powerful and problematic troops. But otherwise, don't think it should be too difficult. We'll see. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.